Morning Year 6, today we're going to be converting between lengths and we're going to be converting between millimetres and centimetres. Pause the video here to match the decimals to the equivalent fraction. This learning will help you in today's lesson. For example, if you convert 0.5 into a fraction, that one would be a half. Can you match up the rest? The answers to those equivalent fractions and decimals are 0.5 is equivalent to a half, 0.1 is equivalent to 1/10, 0.25 is equivalent to 1/4, 0.6 is equivalent to 6/10, and 1.5 is equivalent to 1.5. This is a part of a ruler. It shows centimetres and millimetres. The centimetres are the longer parts. This is 1 centimetre. A millimetre is the smaller parts. This is 1 millimetre. There are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So 1 centimetre is equivalent to 10 millimetres. 1 millimetre is 1/10 of 1 centimetre. So 1 millimetre is equivalent to 0.1 centimetres. Here the arrows are pointing to different measurements. We can see the blue arrow is pointing to 2 millimetres on the ruler. The orange arrow is pointing to 2 centimetres. 2 centimetres is 2 times 10 millimetres because there are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre and 10 millimetres in another centimetre. 10 add 10 is 2 times 10, which is 20 millimetres. Oops. 2 millimetres is 2/10 of 1 centimetre. If this is 1 centimetre here, 2 millimetres is here, it is 2 of the tenths of 1 centimetre. So 2 millimetres in decimals is equivalent to 0.2 centimetres because 0.2 is the same as saying 2/10 as a fraction. On a piece of paper, using a ruler and a pen or a pencil, measure out the following measurements: 1 centimetre, 1 millimetre, 5 centimetres, and 5 millimetres. It doesn't have to be on squared paper. If you don't have a ruler, try to approximate or estimate these amounts. Pause the video here as you do this. When you have measured these out, what is the equivalent centimetre or millimetre conversion for these measurements? For example, the 1 centimetre is equivalent or equal to 10 millimetres. Can you work out the millimetre and centimetre conversion for each of the measurements that you have drawn? One centimetre is equivalent to 10 millimetres. 1 millimetre is equivalent to 0.1 centimetres, or 1/10 of a centimetre. 5 centimetres is equivalent to 50 millimetres because we are doing 5 times 10, and 5 times 10 is 50 millimetres. 5 millimetres is equivalent to 0.5 centimetres, or 5/10 of a centimetre. This is also equivalent to half of a centimetre. What are the formulas for converting between millimetres and centimetres? Looking back at the 5 centimetres and 50 millimetres here, I know there are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. That means that I need to do 10 times 5 to work out how many millimetres there are in 5 centimetres. So when I'm working out millimetres from centimetres, I am multiplying centimetres by 10. When I want to calculate how many centimetres of millimetres are, I am looking at, I have 1 centimetre here, which is equivalent to 10 millimetres. 10 millimetres is divided by 10 to get back to centimetres. Here I can see 1 millimetre and the equivalent 0.1 centimetres. This has been divided by 10. So if I convert centimetres to millimetres, I times the centimetres amount by 10 because there are 10 millimetres per centimetre. If I want to convert millimetres to centimetres, I need to divide the amount in millimetres by 10. Have a look at the amounts that the orange arrow is pointing to on each of these rulers. In the first one, how many centimetres is the yellow arrow pointing to? Can you convert this into millimetres? In this one here, I can see the arrow is pointing to 6 centimetres. To convert this into millimetres, I know I need to multiply by 10. So I know that 6 times 10 is 60 millimetres. I can also do it by counting in groups of 10. There are 10 millimetres between 0 and 1 centimetre, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 millimetres. Have a look at this question and this question and pause the video here to work out how many centimetres and how many millimetres each ruler shows. The blue arrow is pointing to millimetres. Can you calculate how many centimetres each one of these are? Here I can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 millimetres. To convert from millimetres to centimetres, I need to divide by 10. 7 divided by 10, I need to think about place value here, is going to be 0.7 of a centimetre. That is equivalent to 7/10. There are 7 millimetres being pointed to out of 10, which is 7/10, which is equivalent to 0.7 centimetres. Pause the video to have a go at the last 3 on this slide and convert between millimetres to centimetres. Finally, in your workbook on a piece of paper, convert between centimetres to millimetres, these amounts, and convert millimetres to centimetres. The formula for each of these is indicated here. There is also a challenge question for you to answer. Here you can extend your learning by measuring different items in your house and calculating their length in centimetres and millimetres. You can use a tape measure or a ruler to do this. Draw a table in your book like the one shown to show your findings. I hope this has been a helpful activity and has helped you to convert between centimetres and millimetres by yourself.